There are 3 parts in this learning module. Learner can take each part as individual unit or use all 3 parts as one learning unit. In part 1, learner should able to distinguish real income and nominal income after finish the learning unit part 1. In part 2, learner should able to judge the value of money after they finish the learning unit part 2. In part 3, learner should able to identify the benefit, which is advantage, and the cost, which is disadvantage from international trade. Welcome to Fus Tropical Paradise. I will use Fus Island stories to explain our daily life economic activities. In Fus Island Part 1, I talk about when Robinson come to the desert island, he meet Friday, and they were using barter system, which is Robinson do fish and Friday do corn. They exchange corn and fish. That's what we call barter system. Then I come in with my elephant. I bring in the shells. So I introduce the shell as the money in the island. Second is I introduce this nominal income and real income concept. In Fus Island, we have 5 days production, and we have 5 fish and 10 corn, but we total is 20 shell. That is the nominal income, but 5 fish, 10 corn is the real income. Third is the inflation. When the price goes up, instead of 20 shells, now we have 40 shells. But actually, the nominal income goes up, but the real income doesn't goes up, which is they still produce 5 fish, 10 corn. Next is how to compare the production in different years, which is how you compare the different year GDP. I use price index to compare different year of GDP. This is the example I choose, and the question I raise is which one is better? Do you want to have a bigger paycheck or more food on the table? This is a question I ask my student. In Fus Island Story Part 2, I talk about what is money. The basic function of money is medium of change. Second is unit of account. Third is store the value for future use. The shells in the island can serve as a money function. It did serve medium of change when they want to buy fish or corn. Second is the unit account. I do have 1 shell, 2 shells that serves the unit of account. Third is I can store the value in the shells for later use. So shell in the is the money in Fus Island. Second is when Mr. Robinson and he won't go back to America. So he come to me and say, well, Mr. Fu, I don't like your shells. I want to give you your shells, and I want US dollar. So I take the 4 shells and bury in under the ground, and put a flag on it, says 4 shells here. So I circulate $4 US dollar in the island. Then I talk about what is money standard. Before 1933, the United States had a gold coin standard, which is your $1 can go to the bank and change a gold coin. But after 1933, which is we changed to gold bullion standard. From 1934 to 1971, your $1 bill no longer able to change to gold coin in the bank. So that is called gold bullion standard, but actually there's $1 still backed by the gold, same amount of the gold. But after 1971, the US dollar became to paper money standard, which is we are no longer backed by the gold. So the question I raise is, after 1971, US dollar changed to paper money standard, what actually backed by our money? Fus Island Stories Part 3: International Trade and Global Economics. Review of Part 2. In Part 2, I bury all of my 4 shells in the ground and call them as reserve, and circulate United States dollar in Fus Island as a currency. Now, Mr. Robinson go back to United States. I have to dig up the 4 shells and circulate the shells as the currency in Fus Island. After Mr. Robinson went back to United States, he found there's a lot of change after he left United States. He also found he can do business between Fus Island and United States. He can buy fish and corn from Fus Island and sell to the United States. After he sold the fish and corn, he can use that money and buy goods such as Caterpillar, cars, and computers, those high-tech goods from United States, and sell to the Fus Island. So he started the international trade business and formed the Robinson Import and Export Company. Now, after Mr. Robinson formed this import and export company, he buy fish and corn from Fus Island and sell to the United States. So let's look at this fish and corn in Fus Island and export for Fus Island, and it's an import to United States. So United States had to pay them with US dollar. So that is the capital outflow, and it's also a leakage from the United States. And look this money come to Fus Island, that is we call capital inflow, and it's an injection. So the export from Fus Island is an injection for capital inflow, and the import to the United States is the capital outflow, and it also is called leakage. One year later, there's a several change of the United States and Fus Island. First, let's look at the United States. Fish and corn are cheaper than used to be because Fus Island's price much cheaper. So look at this chart. It used to be higher price. Now the world price is lower, so we have lower import price. So in United States we can enjoy cheaper fish and corn price because Robinson's import. But it has higher competition for fish farmer and corn farmer. Those, because the price is cheaper, they cannot produce more, they have produced less. So most of the farmer out of job because they produce less. So what's going on to those farmers? They went to Washington D.C. and protest. So the Congress passed the law and tried to protect United States farmers, to provide them have job opportunity. They put impose this tariff for this for this import goods. So the price of fish and corn goes up because of tariff. Now I take you to Fus Island and see what happens after Mr. Robinson's import caterpillar to Fus Island. There's a lot of change because of Caterpillar's huge capacity. A lot of improvement and construction happened in Fus Island. Building and factory were built. From underdevelopment island, now Fus Island is a developed island. What happened to elephant? Elephant used to work in the field. Now he is faced structural unemployment. How can elephant find a job? Well, he need to be re-educated. He is taking Mr. Fu's class now. See how Mr. Fu can give him a new skill, then he can rework in a new field. Now, the question I raise are, what kind of impact international trade and globalization bring to us? How far can we go? Does international trade and globalization really bring benefits to us? What is their cost, and what are the harm to us?